Yo, what's going on? Kofuzi coming to you from my backyard here in Crystal Lake for episode 3 of Surviving Sydney, my training series as I get ready for the Sydney Marathon, its first year as a World Marathon Major. In this episode, I'm fully recovered from my summer head cold now, and I'm ready to get back into a couple of solid weeks of training before we hit the taper. I'll race another 5K, I'll struggle to get in a true long run, and we're going to add a new member to the Kofuzi family. Monday, my schedule really got away from me, so I couldn't go for my run until the afternoon. And even then, I only had a limited amount of time to get in some miles. So I was thinking, if I made this run a bit of a tempo run, I could get in more miles in the same amount of time. But air quality due to Canadian wildfires was not so good that day. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. So it was going to be a game time decision based on how I was feeling during the run. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just about at the turnaround point. I think I will do a little bit of a pickup for maybe about 5K on the way back once we hit the turnaround. Trying to keep this portion of the run at kind of marathon effort in the marathon heart rate zone for me. And I'm feeling good, which is a good thing, but I'm pressing it just a little bit. So I'm forcing myself to slow down, get the heart rate and the effort back in range, and finish this out. Tuesday was going to be an easy 10 miles, and it was easy, the run was fine. But the big news is that we got a dog. Her name is Bree, she's a beagle mix. One of my daughter's friends was fostering a dog over the summer, and that dog happened to be pregnant. Bree was one of the pups. She's got a lot of puppy energy, and the kids are absolutely in love with her. And I'm pretty okay with her too. Wednesday, it was time to hop on a plane and head to Detroit. My friend Tommy Runs was putting on a track night, and I was going to go race. My hotel was a couple miles from the track, and since I wasn't going to be tapering for this race, I decided I would just jog there as a warm-up. Temps were really hot that afternoon, so I was thinking that running the 5K under 20 minutes would be a pretty good goal for me that day. All right, easy. Getting started. Once the gun went off, I quickly found the other runners who were trying to run about the same pace. This was my first time running a 5K on the track, and it was nice to have crowd support every 400 meters. The first mile kind of flew by. The second mile, I was starting to think that maybe I should make a move, but I was scared that I might not be able to sustain a faster pace. And then once we got to the third mile, it felt like I was pretty tired with so much race left to run. On the bell lap, the guy I was running with started to pick up the pace, and for the last 200, I actually felt pretty strong for a sustained kick. I finished at 19:48, which I was happy with, all things considered. I ran into the Takumi Sen 11 for the first time, and that shoe continues to be my favorite shoe for 5K racing. At the end of the night, I cooled down by jogging back to my hotel, took a shower, and got late-night dinner of Detroit-style pizza. It would be the second time I had pizza that day, and it turns out that I'm now too old to be eating pizza twice in one day because I was so uncomfortable afterwards that I couldn't sleep. Made it back home to Chicago. Had a couple of delays on the flight back, but otherwise, it's a really easy trip. Today, I'm not feeling good. I don't know if it's the travel or if I pulled something while racing yesterday, but I'm just uncomfortable. It might just be that I had too much pizza while I was in Detroit. But that's not feeling good. It's kind of like on my left side a little bit, almost like in my ribs. And then also my right Achilles, which has been slightly grumpy for the past couple of weeks. Definitely feeling really tender today. So we'll take it easy. It's hot. We'll see how far we can go. Not feeling good. I'm gonna turn around at the 5K mark and head back.
a little bit less than a mile left. Right after the turnaround, things started feeling a lot better. I think the sun going down behind the trees really helped. And I think I finally loosened up. It just took a good 3 3/4 miles for me to loosen up today, which is, on days when I'm feeling bad, sometimes it takes 5 or 6 miles to loosen up. So not too bad, but I'm definitely feeling like I raced hard yesterday. It is a little bit before 8 a.m. on a Friday. I am feeling still pretty tired this week, even though last week was a light week and this week wasn't too heavy, but still feeling the race in my legs. And I'm also feeling the temperature. It is hot. Today's gonna be in the 90s, and even early in the day right now, it's humid and hot. Took about 5 miles, but I'm feeling pretty good now. Whew. I feel like I'm starting to finally shake everything that's been going down the past couple weeks. 7.5 miles done. Oh, the humidity, this air, it's like a soup.
Saturday was my first run in the Asics Mega Blast. I love this shoe. It's using an all-new ATPU foam, but it's got a tall stack height like a Super Blast. It's very peppy, very light, and yet it's cushioned. I did mostly an easy run, but I also threw in some short pickups to see how the shoe would respond. And I had so much fun in this shoe, it almost made me forget about how hot and humid it was. Almost. Also, here's another picture of the dog. And I also happened to see a DeLorean driving around Crystal Lake that same day. Weird stuff.
Hey, raccoons. I've never seen raccoons out here before. It is about 3 weeks out from the Sydney Marathon, and I should be doing a very hard 20-mile run today, but the temperatures are not crazy high, but the humidity is really high, and my legs aren't feeling great. So I'm going to shorten it by a little bit, try to get 16, 17 miles in today. I'm not sure, haven't decided yet how many workout miles I'm going to get inside of this long run. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's just that it's that humid or if I still have a little bit of that sinus infection. I just feel like I can't get a deep breath and I can't get any air through my nose. I'm almost at the car. I'm gonna do 5-mile laps. Finish the first bottle of Tailman. Gonna pick up a second one. Sydney is gonna be the hilly race, so in these long runs, I'm doing my hills. The hard thing about these runs where I'm running the workouts myself and I'm kind of playing it by ear a lot of the days is it's really easy to bargain. But today, I was like, I'll just see 3 miles at Marathon Effort. And I was like, might as well do 5, get some hills in. And I was like, all right, let's do 10, I felt fine. But now I'm at 8 and I feel like quitting. And I think I'm going to, I'm not gonna quit. Still have about 6 more miles. I want to do an easy effort, but I'm going to slow it down here because heart rate is getting real high, higher than Marathon Effort, so I don't want to overdo it. I'm tired. I'm hot. could have used another bottle.
And since I overheated on the run, it was the perfect time to hit the Crystal Lake Aqua Park again. Week 10 started off with a run with my daughter. I had bought her own handheld, so she was testing it out today. Hers has a little pocket in it that she uses to store gummies that she likes to eat exactly halfway through the run. And then it was time for me to do some shoe testing to round out my mileage for the day. I did 2 miles each in the Super Blast 2, Hyperion Max 3, and Invincible 3.
It is Tuesday. Gonna do a threshold session today. And I'm procrastinating in the car. I don't want to get out to do this.
I'm still feeling pretty terrible, but I'm gonna try and just get the workout started. See if she's gonna be going through the motions, lead enough to get me started. Let's see. Oh, I felt miserable. Let's do it again. Number 2, still miserable. Starting to feel it a little bit in my right Achilles, the one that's been bothering me, so I think I'm gonna shut it down. I'm not feeling great. My legs are still very heavy from the long run 2 days ago, so we'll just jog it in from here. Almost done with the run now. Gonna finish out at around 10 miles, and I'm feeling really good right now. And so this pair of shoes that I'm testing today has a really aggressive rocker on it, and I'm wondering if that's what my Achilles is kind of responding negatively to at speed. At easy paces, it's rolling really nicely and it's comfy, but I'm gonna try and avoid heavily rockered shoes for workouts from now on, and hopefully that can kind of give a little bit of a break to the Achilles so I can reach the starting line at Sydney healthy. It's a little bit after 8:30 in the morning here on a Wednesday. I'm really trying to get out the ASICS Mega Blast review, but my daughter wanted me to pace her for her workout today, and she's kind of in between coaches, her summer coach and her cross-country coach. So today's a workout that I wrote to try and get her sharpened a little bit for cross-country season. We're doing a fartlek. We're just gonna do a mile warm-up and then 6 times, 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. Ons will be about 7:30, off will be about 8:30. I did a workout yesterday, so hopefully I can hang today.
My daughter told me that she believed her threshold pace was about 7:15 per mile or about 4:30 per kilometer. So I thought this workout made sense as a bridge to keep her stimulated but not overstressed in between the summer off season and the beginning of middle school cross country. She'll be running with her team soon, And then next summer, she'll probably be training with the high school cross country team. So I don't know how many more runs like this we'll have together. And then in the afternoon, we had some weather coming in, so I rounded up my mileage on the treadmill.
It is a little bit past 8:30 a.m. here on a Thursday, garbage day here in Crystal Lake. I was planning to do kind of a midweek, mid-long run, but I woke up today and everything feels just very creaky. So I think I'm gonna cut it a bit shorter, do 9, maybe 10 miles for today. Just crossed the 7-mile mark and suddenly I'm feeling fantastic. So it took a while, but I finally warmed up. It is about 8:30 on a Friday here in Algonquin, doing a little Costco run. Weather is really nice, but I am not feeling so great. I was going to do a workout today, but instead, I'm just gonna take it easy. While there's so many things I like about this route, one thing I don't like is that there aren't a ton of bathrooms. The first one is until the 3-mile mark, and I am praying that it is open today. Alright, so the bathroom's right there, 3.07 miles in. And I don't have to use the bathroom anymore. I guess I'm just full of... There's some construction going on back there, a new subdivision going in. So the trail, or the path kind of ends there. But if you kept going, you'd end up at Crystal Lake, the lake of Crystal Lake. The normal loop led you out there, so it all connects. Good morning. It is 6:45 in the morning here on a Saturday in Crystal Lake. Today I'm going to do 2 laps around the neighborhood, but I'm going to split it up because my daughter has to run 4.5 miles today, which seems long for her. It's longer than I think she normally runs, but she wanted to do 4.5 miles, so I told her we would take it nice and easy. And after I finish this run, I'm gonna get back in the car, go pick her up, and then we'll do the second lap together, which should be nice for me.
Sunday started out on the lake with my family for some canoeing and paddleboarding. It was a bit windy on the water, but a lovely way to get outside. And then it was time for a long run in the Primex 3 Strung.
So today's not going to be a terribly long run, although I wish I were getting in a 20-mile run today just for the sake of confidence. But today's going to be about 13.5 miles total, so not very long, but there's going to be a lot of work in here. 10 miles at whatever feels like marathon effort, given the humidity, the temperature, which isn't too bad today so far, touch wood. Whatever that ends up being is what it'll be today. But 10 miles of that. Halfway through through the work phase. Feeling normal. I think I'm feeling about what I should be feeling. And with that, we're at the end of the work phase of this training block. It feels like it was really short, and in a lot of ways it was. It was just 10 weeks of work with kind of 2 weeks of downtime in there. But I was coming off a 5K training block, and I didn't really have all that much of a break in there. So it's been a long time that I've been building fitness. Now, I have been able to get in a lot of speed work, which I was really happy about, and I was able to keep mileage pretty high all throughout the block. The main thing that I'm worried about, and the thing that's going to give me a lot of concern as I go into the race, is that because of all these high temperatures, I really wasn't able to get in a true long run. I think I topped out at about 16.5 miles as my longest run of the block. And this is gonna be the first time in a long time when I haven't run multiple 20-mile runs in order to get ready for the big race day. So that's gonna be hanging over my head, but I'm gonna trust the process, trust the fitness, and trust my experience as a marathon runner that it's going to be okay at the end. Now, that's it for the work phase, but we are going to have a couple weeks of taper, which is always kind of a tricky thing for me. So before we end this video, let's look at one more week of training. Let's look at week 11 or week 1 of the taper.
Week 11 started out with another run with my daughter, and then later in the day, I did another Costco run.
I left the house in a rush today for this run, and I forgot my headphones. So it's gonna be another no headphones run. Normally, I like to go a little bit further than this on my Costco runs. There's a bathroom if I need one in that park across the street there, and it's just a nice way to add more miles. But I already ran a couple miles with my daughter earlier this morning, and I'm less than 2 weeks out now from Sydney Marathon, so technically I'm in the taper, so I think I can go with a few less miles today. Just gonna put in some easy miles today on Tuesday. I am doing some shoe testing, so I'll do some strides as well. But my legs are feeling pretty tired today. Feeling very heavy, feeling very toxic's not the right word, but it feels like there's just a lot of junk in the quads. So we'll just take it easy.
The shoes I was testing for that Tuesday was the Sonic Blast, the Mach X2, and the Hyperion Max 3.
It is a little bit after 9 a.m. here at Crystal Lake on a Wednesday. I am going to do a taper session today, although the session's still pretty big, but it's during the taper. I'm just not going to double threshold today. I'm very excited to do this workout though, because finally getting a chance to test a production version of the Metaspeed Ray.
I've ridden the Metaspeed Ray several times now as pre-production units, and in those situations, I ended up running at faster paces like VO2 max efforts. And I love the shoe for those speedy paces. But the question I still had was whether it was a real marathon shoe. So the first test for my production unit would be a regular marathon prep session. And the shoe passed with flying colors. It's definitely not going to be for everyone, but it's exactly the kind of shoe that I love.
I don't know what happened on the last one. I messed up interval number 3. It's a little messed up, but we're fine ultimately. Finished 5, but my left hamstring's feeling a little tight, so I'm gonna shut it down here. Whew, that was fun.
Thursday was an easy day, and it was perfect for testing the Vomero Plus. I loved its predecessor shoe, the Invincible 3, so I have a lot of apprehension when it comes to rebranding it into the Vomero family of shoes. And I feel like there are pluses and minuses to the update. It's a much better max cushion shoe now, but I love the Invincible as a long run shoe, a shoe that could also pick up the pace in addition to being comfortable. And I think that the Vomero Plus loses a bit of a step this year. It's a trade-off for how much I like it as a max cushion shoe though.
It is a little bit after 2 p.m. on Friday today, getting a much later start than usual for my run. Just had a lot of work that I'm trying to get done before I head out to Sydney, and just couldn't get out the door. It was to the point where I was thinking, well, maybe I'll take another rest day today because I am kind of feeling tired and the hamstring is still feeling a little bit tight. But after lunch, I was sitting around and thinking, you know what, maybe I'll just try to sneak out for a little bit until I have to pick up the kids from school this afternoon. All right, from the turnaround point, feeling really good. First mile or two was a little bit rough, but now I'm feeling nice.
Saturday morning, my younger daughter had a birthday party to go to in Woodstock, Illinois, a couple towns over. So after we dropped her off, the rest of the family decided to explore the farmer's market in town. My older daughter loves Woodstock because it reminds her of Stars Hollow on Gilmore Girls. And I love it because it was where one of my favorite movies was filmed, Groundhog Day. Although the movie was set in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, they used Woodstock and its town square to film one of my favorite movies, Groundhog Day. We walked around, went to a bookstore, got some ice cream, and I had some pie. It was a lovely way to spend the morning in the town where one of my favorite movies was filmed, Groundhog Day.
It is 6 p.m. here in Crystal Lake. Getting a very late start on my run for today. Run for maybe an hour and 15 minutes. It's 75 minutes. That's kind of my favorite distance to run.
I was feeling really good on this afternoon. The temps have gotten very mild in Crystal Lake, and the start of the taper has been treating me very well. I had to keep holding myself back for how good I felt.
It is 9 a.m. here in Crystal Lake on a Sunday. The weather is absolutely gorgeous today. I'm actually a little bit chilly at the start. I'm just gonna go for an easy 2 laps around the neighborhood. Keep it nice and chill today.
It was another gorgeous weather day, and I was feeling great. And while this run was technically the end of week 11, I'm going to be leaving for Sydney soon, so let's get in one extra bonus day before I go.
It is about 11 a.m. on a Monday here in Crystal Lake, 6 days out from the race, squarely in the taper, and that is one of the trickiest times for me in terms of scheduling. I want to reduce the mileage, but keep the intensity. And what does that mean? Today, I'm going to try 10 miles with 2 bursts of marathon effort. All right, 3 miles at marathon effort. Now, 2 more miles in the next lap to recover and get some easy mileage in, and then we'll do another burst to close out this run. Just finished 10 miles total, 3 miles times 2 at marathon effort with a lot of recovery in between. Now I'm gonna go home, take a shower, let's go to the airport. So I've had a chance now to take a look at the splits from today's run, and it looks like I was averaging about 7:14 per mile for each of those 3 mile stretches. And so I think that's right about where my current fitness is. That's about 3:10 marathon fitness. And if it were a little bit of a cooler race, if it were a flatter race, I think that's where I think I'd line up. But I think given the elevation profile of Sydney, I think that's going to put me closer to like 3:15, which is my BQ pace. So I'm going to line up with the 3:15 pacers and see if I can hang on for the entire race. Now, at this point, injury-wise, the left hamstring thing that happened like a week ago, 10 days ago, that thing has all resolved. The right Achilles that has been a little bit growly is still, it's not a problem, but I do notice it from time to time, especially now walking around in my casual shoes, like in the airport. I'm feeling it a little bit. So hopefully with some continued rest, that will go away. I think that's it from the injury front. Leading into the last week of taper now, the main things that I'm worried about are going to be making sure that I'm eating enough, that I'm staying hydrated, and I'm getting enough rest. I don't have a very busy schedule once I get to Sydney, but there's a lot that I want to see. There's a lot that I want to try to eat. And so it's going to be a challenge trying to stay off my feet. So stay tuned for the next episode where we head into Sydney.